Today, I want to talk about how we can lead with confidence and strategy and break away invisible barriers that we may have collected over the years. Invisible barriers look a lot like imposter syndrome, perfectionism in the sense that you are focusing or spending too much energy on things that aren't aligned with your goals in the sake of just being perfect. I also want to talk about the fear of being seen and maybe feeling a little bit awkward. The perception of what we believe to be true has an emotion attached to it, and therefore we believe it to be true. So if you are constantly maybe questioning your abilities at work, or you feel like you're constantly having to prove to others, whether it's your boss or whether it's the people that you work with at work, you're trying to move up in the network, you're trying to become a top CEO in the business or the profession that you are chasing. But the thing is that you have this doubt, this imposter syndrome that you have, collected over the years. And so you're trying to top things. You're trying to prove to people that you have what it takes, that you're strong enough, that you are courageous enough, and that you are skilled enough. But there's something that's lurking on in the background that you might be believing to be true. And it's just going to take some willful attention, a switch, maybe an add of daily habits that will help create these new experiences in your life. This isn't just for people that are manifesting, that are just sitting at home and, wishing the best case scenario and without taking action. You're already there. You have the career, but the thing is you're trying to move up. And so that's who I'm trying to talk to today. A good question to ask is, what am I broadcasting on a daily basis? Do you wake up in the morning and you just think like, okay, how am I going to get through the day? I've got so many tasks to do. Whether it's you're in a newsroom, whether you are gathering stories to create for a newspaper, or just working in a tech office. There are a bunch of tasks that you need to do throughout the day, and you've got to stay on top of all these things, and there's deadlines. And so you've got those on the back of your mind, but also you've got your self-care that you've got to invested, because I feel like a lot of us, we have these routines that we do. We wake up, you have the cup of coffee, maybe you go for a walk, things like that. We all have habits, and those habits create certain emotions. So if you are doing certain things throughout the day, and when you wake up, as soon as you wake up, you're opening up your phone, you're checking your emails, you're checking your social media accounts, and you see a lot of the same things, the people posting the same things, you are hardwired to believe that this is what your reality is. But the thing is right now, what you're trying to do is you're trying to break away from that. You're trying to level up. You're trying to either move up in the industry that you're working at, and you're trying to just feel powerful. And so it's going to take some time. And again, going back to the routine and how it creates certain behaviors, if you are doing these things on the automatic, and then you show up to work and you're feeling like you're questioning yourself and things like that, that's okay. It's just a routine for you. So we're going to have to break away from that and add a little bit more, in the sense of we respond differently. There's going to be a new state of mind. So what are we going to do when we wake up in the morning? It's best to set intentions. What do you want to experience today? When you're in the newsroom, when you're behind the screen, when you are, working in the office, and there's all those different deadlines that you have to hit, meetings that you have to go and, stand up tall and stand up firm. What's going to help you feel more powerful, have more confidence, and have more strategy, rather than being overwhelmed by what you see or what you have to accomplish for the day? So when our intentions aren't aligned with what our goals are, it sends mixed messages to the field. So in the sense of with you and, at work, if you're at the newsroom, if you are working with people in an office, if you've got these deadlines that are stacking on and you have these expectations of you, what are the thoughts that are going on in your mind when that's happening? I don't know if I'm going to make it. Am I cut out for this? You know, are you constantly questioning your abilities and your skills? And yeah, so that's what I'm asking. And when we have those thoughts, and I'm not saying that, you know, fears aren't going to happen, but we are going to have to learn how to navigate and kind of coast through those feelings and not attach our emotions to it. Because once we almost let that fish hook get in and get under our skin, it starts to create, you know, this insecurity. And of course that imposter syndrome is going to start, you know, making you question yourself. Are you, you know, is this for you? Are you going to, you know, ever improve, and all those different things. So that's a big thing, is our thoughts and our feelings are aligned, and that's when we send a signal out. What can we do in those situations to make you feel like you are aligned with your goals and with, you know, your ultimate level up in this industry? It's going to take some time, but you are going to have to continue to remind yourself. It's like a game of tennis, basically. You know, you're going to have some intrusive thoughts coming in, you know, questioning your self-worth, questioning your capabilities, your skills. And of course, there's always room for improvement in the office or behind the screen, or, you know, with your writing capabilities, if you're in broadcast or if you're in news, or if you are working in an office. Of course, there's room for improvement, but we're going to have to continue to remind ourselves that our thoughts have consequences. They create our reality. Do you want to continue to question your capabilities, or do you want to go ahead and level up to a new reality?